Welcome back, everybody, to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice EU Qualifiers #1. Mitch Leslie here with Lauren Pansy Scott, and we are into our second map of our grand final, of course. The first one going quite convincingly in the favour of E-Frag here in the knife round. Well, we just saw the finish of it there, and Gambit Gaming do win that one out here on the map of Mirage.
They do, and this is Gambit Gaming's choice as well. They'll be opting for this, of course. E-Frag choosing Dust 2, and the last was Cobble if needed. However, after that first map, if we're going to see something similar from E-Frag on the T side, this could be quite the deadly one here, Mitch. I'm hoping that maybe Gambit have a little more in store for this, as this is their choice, but if it goes to that sort of way, it could be a real problem. Yeah,
well, I mean, every map's different, of course, but I don't particularly think that E-Frag, seeing their approach to T-side, are going to be too upset about being on the T-side to start with here. I mean, Gambit Gaming, they really did manage to shut out Team YP by getting CT side starts in both consecutive maps there as well. So that undoubtedly worked in their favour, but it's safe to say, Lauren, it's a very different beast they're dealing with here.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's a million miles apart, but if they can maybe muster a little bit of what they had in that previous map here, especially on this T side, I'll be thoroughly impressed. Looking at the investment so far, once again, Dozier, the man with the kit and the flashes. Molly on towards Mo, actually. That's an interesting one to see him pulling out very early on. But on the other side, just the flash and the nade for NKL. The rest will be the Glock train. I'm not sure where they want to put it. Maybe faking out towards A and then hitting up mid. Maybe a split. We're yet to see. But already the T side, leaving that bomb in spawn, not really committing anywhere too early just as of yet.
Like you said, it is a slow start here for E-Frag. When it comes down to the entries, it definitely doesn't seem like something to have too much trouble with, but this is Mirage, and it's a very much a different story. And Gambit Gaming, of course, very keen to put things back in their favour there. As Waylander just watching down towards that underpass here, just in case, and it's a very slow movements here from E-Frag. Really not pushing that far forward at all, hoping to gain just some early information here, so maybe know where they need to apply some pressure on the map, but likewise, Gambit Gaming aren't giving them a whole lot.
All right, Smoke's just been put down to window. Hooch does body block it, so it doesn't cover completely this window, but Waylander going to be reminded he needs to back away from here, but this mid-split is not going to have as much success as they'd hoped for. That smoke was very obvious, of course, towards Hooch, so he can just readjust now, look towards where the rest of the split's coming in towards. Adren is the man receiving, but look at the HP of the CT side. Now they're pretty much locked out. It did end up working out as the A split did come through. Now, Bomb could be planted down an interesting spot there, and already a great connection from NKL, now leaving it a 3v3.
Very ballsy for NKL to plant where he did, and well, now it's going to be that much easier to hold and Punisher there as Mo should I say, comes through it offers him his head, and Punisher now just maybe want to get out of connector or change sides, at least keep it fresh. But Waylander knows exactly where he needs to be poking. However, that doesn't matter as Punisher too quick on the trigger finger. Mouse 1 proven to be just a bit better in his favour. But Doji has to go and defuse his bomb. It's placed in such an open position off the back of NKL's cheeky little plant there, and Doji can't connect. The pressure's starting to get to the man possibly. He does have a kit, but he's running out of time even at that, and NKL will come out and take him down.
Yeah, that plan was straight in for ramp, no question about it, and well, really nicely done from E-Frag, taking their time, a very cautious T-side approach to that. Pretty much everywhere in the map, I almost thought it could have fallen apart off the back of that smoke being body blocked by Hooch then, but they just couldn't capitalize on it, and that mid-split was still a presence. And look at these rifles coming out for the T-side. They are not messing around here. They know that the CTs could have invested quite heavily into this, and they have. So reading the gameplay particularly well at the moment. It looks like a standard A execute, but it's a stack from both sides here. This could be deadly for the T's if they just walk straight into this.
Oh, and he has done that. Hoocher going straight in towards NKL, but at least Dozier was there to get the revenge frag. Adrian as well, undetected thus far below Palace, gets a pick, but it's back and forth stuff here with Gambit Gaming out with a nose in front and a deagle in the hand of Waylander here. A grenade to work with as well. It's just 2 Galils is all that E-Frag have left to try and pressure this site. It's a smoke over the shoulder of Waylander there, and Dozier is keeping himself very, very quiet up in that corner. And do bear in mind, of course, no utility left here for the attacking side. And Victor coming through, does get Waylander, picks him up through the box there, but Dozier has kept himself quiet.
Dozier can be the man to change all of this. Mo just needs to wait it out till he has a real shot at it, but the tag does come in. That means it's time to go. Dozier finds one. It's down to a 1v1, and this round was meant to be a safe bet for E-Frag, but they didn't account for the stack towards A. They were a little hap-handed in it, and now Victor up against Mo. The deagle, the nade with him, and the rifle for Victor. This should be his round, but oh! Down to 2 HP. Victor just about closes it. 3 kills in the end. But really, Gambit did so much damage there. The bomb plant is still going to pay in, and the T-side could reinvest, but to what do they go for?
Well, that's going to be the question here now. It doesn't seem like a whole lot at this stage. P250 does show. I mean, that situation at the end of the round there as well, the refrag situation was good for E-Frag, knowing that Mo was so far out of position in jungle. They were able to happily take the 1v1 away. Oh, it was close. I won't say happily, but Victor still has his AK on him, so that's important. But of course, the couple, well, not much really pistols there as well. But look at Victor. He's using that AK nicely.
Yeah, and Spy Leader's just trying to make money with that Mag 10 as much as possible. Just get in between them, fly around the map, no care in the world. The rest of his side can just focus on supporting at B, and he's making the money. That's all he needs to do. Takes the challenge. Brilliant stuff towards Mo in the end. And now just Hooch, the last man alive. And really for him, he's kind of in a real bad spot at this point. Doesn't have a shot at it, and Spy Leader, really, look at that damage. 4 kills with that SMG. His money is now completely supplemented, and he's relatively safe going forward. But this is the buy I've been waiting for. Mo with the AWP. We've got the rifles going to play. Dozier needs to be a bit careful. Money is not going to be prevalent for him going forward, as is the rest of the side. So a tough one now for the CTs to hold on to. Not a great deal of utility, but on the T side, the complete opposite. Well flush for cash.
And that's the difference here. Even with a rocky round 2 and not a big round 3 money-wise, E-Frag have the utility. That's the big difference between these guys on this first proper buy. Between the two of them now, Waylander has pushed himself a fair way up mid here, and it will be Victor to be looking for him. Waylander has screwed the pooch on that one, but still Dozier's going to be able to make up for that one. He does take down Punisher, who was trying to work his way over towards B, and that will, again, spanner in the works here for E-Frag. And they have to play it slow. Again, have the utility. Need to put it to use, though. A dead player can't throw nades, and unfortunately, Punisher not going to be able to assist in this particular way, but to see NKL lining up a nice one there towards that mid-window. And he's going to smoke that one out just perfectly. That's going to force Mo away.
It allows Victor to take a peek here as well. That time it wasn't body blocked, which was the big difference before, but still paid into hands of E-Frag. This time they're still operating on quite minimum amounts, and that smoke isn't perfect. There's still a peek to be made off the back of this, but Victor is taking short as far as he can. He's had to smoke it out himself. Molly towards short. The fire is coming in. The 180 comes out. Victor smashes down the opponent and gets a follow-up. Brilliant play from the man himself, and now Adren tucked into the corner, burning alive. Has to take the peek. He finds it. Spy Leader picks him up, but it's a trade out, leaving the T side with the advantage.
Second round, they found Adrian there as well. They knew to throw the molly down. 2v3, but Moo does have the AWP. He misses that first shot towards NKL. He misses the second as well. It's not going to go through the box in the way that he would have liked, and he allows that bomb to be planted. Now, of course, NKL backing up towards Tetris. It's a flash. Going to be 2 of them, in fact, to keep Mo disoriented for as long as possible. And Bubble went back to spawn there for some reason. So there'll be 2 players working from T-Ramp, but NKL's got the pick.
Yeah, it's basically for that bomb plant. Now, Dozier knows it. The bomb's planted for sure, but he knows it can still be seen from ramp. Maybe a bit more of a commitment, but Dozier realizes this, and I think it's time to pretty much save this gun. He's out of there, but again, E-Frag, even though they lost out on that initial kill, they worked it back so well. The play up shot from Victor was somewhat inspired. I don't know how the hell he got that second kill, to be fair.
No, it was very, very, very sharp drag from there, especially he was looking towards short there, but nonetheless he picks it up, and Victor actually has honestly been a linchpin even in the last game for them as well. 6-2, just, you know, responded well. In fact, both of those situations were ones that he had to react to. He didn't really make peeks. People were shooting him in the back, or they peeked out on him, and he still managed to pick him up. So very, very sharp right now, and he's proving to be quite a problem for Gambit.
Yeah, it really is. Dozier's the only man who really gets to retain anything, of course, from that previous round. Everyone else is going to try and supplement it with CZs here and there, but the T side waiting to see what they're up against. Smart move from them. They saw before it was Waylander who pushed up mid. He looked for more aggression in that sort of aspect. Found Victor at the other side of it, and I can imagine he's thinking if only I killed him at that point, seeing how much he's done from then on. But still, T side seeing if there's any aggression coming out from the CTs, see if they can know to stack, see if they hear anything. And be cautious. They've not used any utility really at this point. We've seen before they like to smoke the window from all the way back there. That generally has been coming in, I believe, from NKL normally. And once again, it's going to go towards that mid window, allow the 2 players in mid to be able to push through and get that mid control and work from back. But the problem being, look at the players on A. Slowly working out. NKL could be challenged here. Player swings out. It's Adren. He sees Waylander. Oh, and Waylander just gets sent packing quick on the swing out, though. He makes the most of it, and NKL goes down.
Yeah, not too bad at all, but you can see Waylander knows now he's kind of got to persist in this one here. Good flash, but the headshot was brilliant. Punisher gets absolutely punished himself, but Mo will fall to Bubble there as well. And it's going to keep E-Frag, well, with some wind in their sails. All those players now being forced on back. You can see Waylander at least has the bomb position. That is something. But he's got 4 players to deal with. He has no armor to speak of. An AK and a Deagle. He has to sit tight, but he's going to be surrounded. He can hear the footsteps through Palace as well.
Timing is everything for Waylander, and he has no way to control it. The flash comes out, he's fully white, he switches up, expects a present behind him, he takes down Bubble, but look at the HP, it's 11. Oh, Waylander, that's 4! 1v1 now, 19 seconds, he's going to play the plant. Victor's got the bomb, and he hears that going, but Victor's got a molly and a smoke. Molly goes down, Waylander can't challenge the plant. But a flash for Waylander can change this. Will He needs to be careful. Smoke's in. Now Waylander's peeking up. He's going to take his time on this one. Victor is still on the site. Victor surely heard that, and the dreams are dashed for Gambit in the end. But Waylander, what a performance then, just off the back of that initial deagle, hitting the swing out on the second, and then the AK recovered just paid off so heavily. Sadly, not enough to secure the round.
Yeah, bizarre situation to be caught in for any player. I think Waylander realised that he didn't really gain anything from backing off on that as well. He figured he may as well persist on this one. He had the deagle. He was even hoping to pick up that AK, and he did. With him, some very impressive play there as well. Not enough, and that is honestly pretty much the metaphor for how Gambit have been so far in this grand final. Just not enough. And in these last rounds, I mean, it's 5-0 on the scoreboard, but they've been chomping at the bit. Another buy for them. Adrian takes down Victor. Bomb is loose. Quickly refragged there by Spy Leader. And he will try and smoke out that A side and get a plant down. He's in a good spot now. I want to CT in a mid as well. Bubble wins that challenge versus Hooch, and that can't happen if you're going to hold.
I don't know how they just got a bomb plant down as well with one man on site, and there's 4 players basically looking at A at that point. 2 players now standing. Mo and Dozier are pretty much locked out of this. You shouldn't lose rounds in this way, and that's going to be frustrating towards Gambit, I can imagine. No player watching the push out from stairs as Mo is completely focused towards mid. And Dozier's just gone straight in on this. He doesn't care, but around the back, NKL's on the flank. Mo's found Punisher now. It's down to a 2v2, but the positioning again, Sublime coming out from the T side, truly aware of where they can be pressured from. Now time is of the essence. Mo's just going to go straight for this one. The smoke goes in, the flash comes out, he's going for it, he's got it. No, in the last seconds, NKL with a great read coming around the back of CT spawn.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why that bomb was able to be planted so easily is that the player was already on the side. Victor went down, but they refragged Adrian, who actually pushed out of CT spawn. And the rest of the people on Gambit watching A were towards connector and towards jungle. So they couldn't do anything once a player was on the side. They couldn't really stop it. They didn't clearly have the utility. No one challenging from CT allowed that to happen. And the rest is history there. A close one, but NKO again just coming up with the goods here, despite Gambit Gaming making it 1v1 2 rounds in a row.
And it's rinse and repeat. They're not doing anything special. It's just Gambit have no answer to this at the moment. I'm waiting to see NKL drop out the smoke towards window. Mo not too sure what to do. He tries to challenge for a while, then backs away. I'm hoping they try and find a difference there. Hooch has got himself in a curious spot, but again, timing is of the essence at this point, as they're working with such a limited amount. They've got the Mag 7 on Dren, you've got Hooch with the CZ. It's not perfect, and it's not what you want coming into such an imperative round at this point, but then again, 1 minute left, there's a smoking see. Mo now predicting it, body blocking it out, so he's got the shot this time.
He does indeed. We'll have the first one there as well, but won't really connect in a meaningful manner. I think it was Spy Leader actually taking a small amount of damage, but still Mo has been forced away. The second smoke comes in, will find its mark. You can't body block that one out.
But good play from the CTs to take ramp control. They're understanding now what the T-side are doing, and Mo is having none of it this time. 2 kills back to back. Punisher and the boys cut off from pushing through ramp, and now you can see the plan coming out from Gambit. They started to retake map control on other positions, and Hooch around the backside makes light work of Punisher, but they've got to find out where Victor is now. Presence noted, the bomb's in a bad spot for him, though.
Yeah, absolutely in ramp. He has to go through the entirety of Gambit to win this round, and he probably will have a crack at it at the very least, but already damage going over towards him there. He somehow sprays down Dozier. RNG is in session, but Hooch will be able to lay the nade down and put that one to a quick stop.
Yeah, as I was saying, taking ramp control then was really important. It denied the split. Now, we have seen that occasionally E-Frag will work towards B and such, but they'd already pushed a player through from B, which was Hooch, so they knew that wasn't the case. They tightened the noose towards ramp, and that's exactly how it played out for them. It allowed finally them to stop E-Frag, but this looks like just your standard A. Just going to smoke it out, maybe wait on the smokes from the CT side, and just try and bully their way through. I'm not sure who's doing which smoke at this point, but there we go. You can see them already lining up, waiting for this, and I'm not sure what will be the signifier to go. Maybe just a bit of timing, waiting on their smokes to dissipate.
Punisher on the screen here as well to lay it on through, and decent canvas there, of course, towards A. CT smoke may be an issue. No, there is some there short, but Hoocher takes down Victor, and again, a second for him. Waylander waiting in the wings as well, but it's been all about Hooch and Adrian, really. They've stymied any sort of push out from Palace, and you can see the bomb there on the ground out of T-Ramp, sorry. Mo missed the shot, but it doesn't matter because E-Frag are already lagging behind drastically.
Yeah, Waylander finally gets into the mixture here, and he should be able to close down. He does, but as said, those smokes weren't perfect. Hooch was able to pick them up from CT a little late on those coming through, and that's pretty much what's cost E-Frag that round. And I'm surprised that they, had such an issue with that one, considering as a standard A play. They didn't have exactly what they needed, maybe a couple more flashes for the close angles. Maybe not expecting as well to see that Mag 7 still in dark, and well, Adren's gone back onto it, so quite hard to predict and quite hard to handle, but we are going to be seeing, the first time we're seeing this kind of force-up Tech-9 by reminding ourselves, even though it was almost 6 rounds back-to-back for E-Frag, they weren't clean. They were normally down to like 1, maybe 2 players left, so the money was never completely flush. They never had that big economy built up, so it will take a couple now for Gambit to maybe get back in this, but they can start building the economy to their favour.
So interesting, maybe weakness exposed here. Oh, was that Punisher taking a lot of damage there? Quick little spray takes him down to half health. The close angle play, I mean, pushing for E-Frag on towards A. That's where they kind of got shut down. I'll have to see how they sort of rectify that further on in the pieces. Waylander is able to circumvent that smoke there just by pushing up. Spy Leader's head displays itself, and Waylander will happily take the shot. Hooch, though, goes down. It's going to be an AK for Victor now as well. Smoke does allow him to push in towards B. Doja will be there. Doja, not for long, as he goes down, and somehow E-Frag have actually been able to cause some big problems here.
This is a disaster for any Gambit Gaming fan at this point. By no means the T-side should have got into that side that cleanly, but then again, it is down to 3v3. It's certainly not over yet.
NKL will be sitting a truck here as well. Waylander knows he's there as well. He was pre-aiming a bit before, but the poke, he's just going to get it though. However, Bubble takes down Adrian 2v2. 2 Gambit players on that bomb. Smoke is going to go up towards as well, and Waylander, great Molotov there as well. Really just going to cut. Look at E-Frag, they're struggling. Cuts them away completely. The defuse will come out quite nicely as Victor had to burn to death to even try and take a shot.
Yeah, just good decision making on the bomb side pretty much then. 3-6 now, we're starting to get back into it. Bearing in mind though, I'd say about 7 rounds on the T side is still something you'd be pretty darn pleased with. I don't think you'd be too upset by that, and really the last 3 back-to-back, you know, it's still been pretty close between these two, so not going to be too tipped in either way. They started on the CT side to work out how to control mid, in my eyes. That's the big difference here. Body blocking that smoke, and I'm hoping they have more to fall back to here for E-Frag. I hope that wasn't their one, you know, ace up the sleeve at this point. I'm hoping there's a little more. But then again, this is a nice difference. Even if they go for the same play, Hooch ended up pushing through those B apartments and catching them on the rotate towards A. You can see the difference now. They put a player towards it to try and watch that if that's the case. So they might actually be trying to bait out that push from B. But then again, it's a dangerous play, just kind of reading the response from Gambit, as that could change in an instance.
Slow play indeed. I think we do see NKL setting up for that mid-window nade. I don't think Mo's going to be able to body block it. He's not in position for it necessarily. I don't know if he's just thrown it or not.
Yeah.
Well, that's where he was standing at least. So, no, that goes up. Mo doesn't block it, so he's forced away. I mean, it's a small thing really, but it does allow E-Frag that movement in towards mid. They can take that peak. And
they're expecting the ramp push up. NKL, he may not hit the shot, but he knows it's going to be possibly happening. The flash was perfect. It doesn't matter if you predict it, if you can't see. Odren takes down 2, but the T-side trying to adapt, but just being thwarted by 1 flash.
Doja now causing problems as well from jungle. These 2 last players on E-Frag are split. Victor is in ladder room at least, hoping for someone to show his head, and it might actually be Hooch in a second just to hook through. No, Doja does make the early peek, finishes it off. Bubble does get 1 for himself, but he's up against 3, and the bomb is being guarded vigilantly. 2 players, it's Waylander and Adrian there, are not willing to let Bubble get even remotely close to that one. Still, Bubble gets a frag. He can predict, he can assume, he can make inference as to where these other 2 players are going to go, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much guesswork you do, you have to go in. Smoke, great place to smoke there as well. He knows there's going to be some pre-fire through. Bubble waits it out, he gets the bomb, but Adrian is there. He pushes up in towards a Reb to get the final kill, and Gambit put 4 on the board.
That was, to be fair, Bubble, I don't know how he predicted the player in that position in Connector, but that aside, he faked out the sound going towards ramp, so he knew that the player would probably be around either stairs or Connector just to hold the cross. Hit that one, but even then, just rather than push, so once he smoked out the molly, he waited because he knew they'd just spray in towards the bomb, bought his time, picked it up. Sadly for him in the end, of course, that, you know, I think it was a Dren just pushed right through the smoke, like, screw that. I'll trade out for it. You know, I'll trade out for the sake of it'll cost you time. So just individually playing out really well for Bubble then, but in the end just not enough. But this is a good comeback from Gambit here. They're starting to work out what E-Frag were doing. Now, I was hoping to see more from E-Frag in this sort of regard. They've tried some defaults towards A, but not too many. And when they have, they seem to have had their minds turned off going, we didn't like that. They pushed close. We don't know how to deal with that one.
Yep, exactly.
But the one thing I've got to say in that round was NKL and the boys did expect the ramp presence, but that 1 flash ruined everything. If they'd been able to get those kills, or even just trade it out, maybe 1 for 1, whatever it was, the players then coming through Connector could have helped out. But by that point, they'd not won the fight. They lost out. That 1 flash turned everything. And sadly for E-Frag, you know, that's what it comes down to sometimes.
I think close angles is a problem for them. If you think about Dust 2, the T side for E-Frag on Dust 2 is that their entries towards long often culminated from shots from range, honestly. Like working on towards that corner at long, poking long house, getting the shot, working their way through. The one round Doja put himself right up towards long house, he wrecked them. And and the same thing here. In some ways, as a T-side team, Mirage is not lending itself so much to those long peaks. You get players that will push up. Adrian will go dark. He will go towards T-Ram. He will get under your skin. And E-Frag, it seems to stress them out a little bit. They can't leisurely walk through first peak here. They can't play whack-a-mole, basically, at range.
I almost wanted them to, in a way. If you look back at TQM's T-side on Mirage, not too long ago, they've relatively changed it up. But the T-side, they always like to play ahead of the smokes, and a lot of the Danish teams seem to like it. I'm not sure if it's just a trend among them, but it works really well, especially when you play ahead of the smokes towards the A side, assuming that maybe there's not an AWP in CT or something of that.
Yep.
You can still do it. You can take those fights, but it takes a lot of confidence and probably a bit more bank than they'd care to see to hand at the moment.
You need to reliably frag on the entry as well to play ahead.
But after that Dust 2 performance, I'd kind of want to see them try it, because they were hitting those shots.
That's what they were doing.
And then it would maybe deny Gambit being able to get that close, or maybe just not want them to be able to do it, or not mentally want to go to those spots again after losing trades. But then again, obviously hindsight is 2020. I'm not on the server playing this quite obviously, but still, they paused coming into a tech line buy up. I can imagine this might just be a bit of an attempt in some regard to get a bomb plant, do whatever they can to get themselves back in some sort of money position. But after that, they've got to come up with the goods in that next round.
And momentum starting to build here for Gambit. Waylander, who's been highlighting quite a few times, now just breaking through towards the top of that scoreboard, as you can see there. Quite comfortable for him, and you'll notice actually that kill totals actually getting pretty even between these two teams. That says a lot as well. There's no one player that's really making things hard. And E-Frag are trying multiple avenues of approach, but the B's been a bit light for them, with the exception of that sort of that force round where Hooch came through, managed to get a few picks and cause some trouble. Great pick there. I mean, Victor came bouncing on through, but Moo, he's a bit too canny for that one.
Yeah, having none of that. Now, there is one player in mid. Oh, Bubble just goes straight out. This is what I want to see. Just playing ahead of the smoke, playing confident. And sure, they didn't have actually any utility to work with, but this pays off. But now can they hold on to it? There's 3 players left to retake against the 4, who still only have a couple of Tech 9s. They've recovered 2 rifles, though.
Doja has just seen Mo go down from the player in jungle, and he pushes the flames anyway. Fair enough, almost takes his teammate's head off. There's a rifle for Bubble there as well. The bomb is down. Just perfect situation here for E-Frag. Could always be better, but it's pretty damn ideal considering a Bubble pokes out. He gets the frag. Doja's there to respond there. It's only Tech 9s for the remaining players of E-Frag, but they've done good work with them. Doja down to 11. He has to give up some ground here. Flash is expecting some sort of push. They'll try and clean him up. They don't, though. Well, Doja's going to have to do this the hard way.
He tried to deny, I guess, another rifle to be recovered, but that wasn't even the case in the end. 4-7, those Tech 9s just going to work, flying out of apartments like that after trying to keep attention towards mid, as I think it was Spy Leader slipped through by Connector. Really, really smart play, but also just confident play. That sort of stuff you can't really account for sometimes, and I wonder if they're going to do it again, just go straight in on these entries or try and play a little bit quicker. It looks like a default A being lined up here, but last time we saw this almost working out, but then the close play coming in from the likes of Waylander, Mo, Adren, all really hindered it.
On that note, Doja has the AWP here. Mo is actually taking Adrian's spot, pushing up towards Palace. So a bit of a change here as well. And you can see where Doja's sort of looking towards with that AWP. 5 smokes on towards A, and Bubble gets the open on towards Mo. Nothing's going to work there towards Palace, and there's Punisher getting in the face of Adrian. He'll pick him up. This is perfect stuff from E-Frag.
Waylander, look at him. He's still lurking behind. This is a problem. They didn't clean their corners, and now NKL is kind of in between everything here. Hooch has been on sneak towards site, but it's Dozier and Hooch left standing. They know that bomb's planted for ramp, though.
Yeah, and he knew to be a player. NKL was there, and Hooch at close range with the CZ. Very, very hard to beat the man. Flash is still coming out, but someone has to get towards that bomb. It'll be Hooch, I'm sure, to challenge, and Doja hoping for a refrag or at least some sort of cover, but there's no time, and you can see them backing away as well. Doja does get this one frag with the AWP for the round here, but he's going to back away on that one and try and save it.
I love that. Bubble trying to do the little flash out. It's just like, no.
I've had this so many times in MM. You would not believe. I thought I saw this once on an ESL stream. Oh, okay, maybe not.
Righty. What just happened? E-Frag just picked up the pace, basically. They actually didn't smoke stairs either. They kind of put the smoke a little bit closer, and they went for the challenge towards the stairs, which was a little bit different. I didn't see their full smoke setup, but it was not your standard. It wasn't a standard A. It's a little bit varied, and I'm hoping we see that again, because I'd love to see what they do on it, but no. They're trying something a little different here. We'll watch NKL doing the lineup again. Smokes to go out once he does the run-up, but you can see a very, very different stance here from the T side.
Mid-push with AWP for Doja there, but both were flashed out by Victor, who just almost saw that coming here. He still has to be careful. Obviously, Doja will be able to pick him if he shows too much of his noggin, and Moo trying to get up close as well. Victor with a great spray down the CZ, won't quite be enough. No, Victor gets the double in mid, And Gambit trying to make something happen there as well. You can see that they kept that up. They tried to make use of it.
He's got the gun. He's got the gun. He's the only player who had a rifle really in that one, left alive at least. And
he don't
Punisher.
drop the gun.
Yeah, he done drop the gun. Oh, Ripperino. Adren, good luck, pal. A USPS and a dream by that point.
Yeah. And Victor again, just solidifying our impressions of him being a very confident fragger here as well. And again, it says a lot when Mo is dropping that ult for Doja and then changing up his playstyle. I said, I'm going to try and go Palace. This time, actually, he went towards Connector and into mid with Doja. Gambit are trying to mix it up here, but not really working out. And you can see Mo's confidence is crushed. And, well, Gambit have to work around that.
It certainly is. And you're just going to be seeing not necessarily your default here. Again, the smoke you put into play, but this sort of mid-presence has been almost doubled by this point. They've got players now pouring in towards it, looking to challenge the likes of Waylander, looking to challenge down Hooch, and they're going to do it. Victor already finds one. These are the entry frags that are paying off now for E-Frag, but there's a trade back. Spy Leader falls. Now 4v4, the T-side still has an advantage, and look where they're heading.
And Victor there as well. Just show his feet to Waylander, who again consistently is keeping his team in this one. Even if he is dragging them, kicking and screaming through some of these rounds, he's getting them there nonetheless. Doja looking towards that B side, does see the drop down, and you will know the bomb is going to be planted in a few moments, but numbers advantage for Gambit. You can see Waylander actually opting to try and flank, but NKL sees the flash and knows there's going to be a player coming around that corner in just a few moments. He has the angle, he has the shot, and he has the frag. Now a 3v3. Doja wants to work out a beat towards his side. Yeah,
the flash is going to make this more difficult, though, and this is going to be timing pretty much being everything. And look at Adren's seen the rifle. That's all he needs. Now apartments are a problem. Now the rest of the CC side need to just tie in the noose, but Bubble on the side, making it hard work. It's a 2v2. The bomb is ticking, and there's no defuse kits on the CT side. Time is going to run out here. They have to get it done. But I think it's almost too late now, and they know it. Dozia's got it done, but the defuse is just too far away, and a matter of seconds to find that round. But another one for E-Frag on the board.
Gutting stuff for Gambit Gaming. After all their adaptations, they actually start things off ahead. To be fair, again, it was off the back of Waylander with some clever peeks in towards short. Still wasn't enough in the end. I enjoyed the fact that NKL was watching his flank even before the flash was thrown to give away Waylander's position. E-Frag, they're covering themselves here as well. And this is why we're seeing this 6-round lead for them. But let's see what the play is here. Will it be a set play? Or maybe they'll just split and pick what they can. No Orper in mid, of course. It's just a scout for Moo, and he's using that back. Yeah, Adrian in mid here, strangely enough, not A.
Just trying it. Just trying to switch something up.
He's struggling, Lauren. He is struggling.
I guess after such a big performance in the previous matches, when he comes into this one, it's just like, what's happened? He's not exactly doing awfully, but he's certainly not to the caliber we once saw. But the tags are flying out, but the frags were just not following. But the Finn himself finally shows up, picking up Spy Leader there. He knows the Victor will be low as well, but at this point, look at this setup. The T-side's not even committed anywhere, and already they've worked down the CTs pretty darn low. Relatively well traded out. Mo is there supporting, but Bubble looking to try and pinch in on this one. He knows Dozier is going to be close. He hears him hop up, but he takes the shot. And that's another man down for the CTs, and suddenly it's falling to pieces.
2 rifles left here in a flash for Gambit Gaming, but there is the Molotov move. We'll just have to shake his head and discuss as he knows how much harder it's going to be for him to get towards that site. Hooch makes some damage stick, so does Mo. He's made his way in towards Connector now. The bomb, yes, it's being planted at this moment, and that's NKL backing away, but Moo catches him as he moves away from the side. Victor's a long way from being able to do too much with that smoke up. But again, Gambit Gaming are helping him by not pushing too aggressively. Victor, very little health. Bubble, even less health. E-Frag would love an 11-4 scoreline here, but they've got a bit more work to do still.
They don't expect Victor in this position. The bomb is planted for Ram. Now his hand has been shown. That's the molly. No kill onto Hooch. We're in the same predicament, Mitch.
Absolutely. Hooch now smoked up as well. He wants to look over towards those stairs. Not looking quite at the right one, but he's got to run out of time. Bubble knows how to drag this one out perfectly. 4 points of health is 3 more than he needs to win this round. He'll poke out. Hooch will get him, but it's 11-4 at half. E-Frag looking good.
How many rounds can they do that to you on? That is just sheer frustration if I've ever seen it. But once again, E-Frag's T-sides, once they took that timeout, suddenly stepped the hell up. It took time. They took that pause, but look at this play from Victor. I love it. He didn't show his hand at all. He took the one fight on the side he could maybe manage, puts the molly down, buys initial time, forces Hooch to take the fight towards him, which Hooch won. But by that point, time is so low. The money so, dwindling for the CTs. All Bubble had to do was buy time.
Victor had shown a little bit his position towards short. He was standing on short and there was smoke up, so not much he could really do. I think he was seen, but at that point, I mean, Gambit had to try and get rid of that ramp player. From ramp, I mean, it was a plant. It's the second time NKL is actually at risk to himself. Put that plant down on the other side of the box.
Very
it's pretty
risky.
standard. It is risky as heck, but once you get it down, you pretty much have no way of defusing it. So you trade your risk for theirs, really, and it paid off perfectly for E-Frag here.
You're not wrong. And now I get to fly around the map and spectator while we wait for it to start.
Yeah, it's going to be
hit the wall.
a couple seconds before these guys get sorted, and obviously the pistol here means a lot.
Yeah, just to say the very least. There's no point in hiding the fact that 11-4, it's a little less dire than, let's say, the previous go of things. But then again, you know, Gambit did bring it close once they started to get their head in the matchup, but 4 rounds isn't a great deal here. And money can be extremely punishing at this point, and if they don't pick up this pistol, I kind of fear for them. And I can't even remember who is really performing. Obviously, we'll see that once it goes back into game for them.
Well, definitely Waylander for Gambit.
Yeah, Waylander was playing pretty big. Considering they switched him up as well, he'd been kind of roaming the map. He'd been flanking from B sometimes. He'd been on A before. He was pretty much everywhere, and everyone was switching up the positions.
Yeah, I mean, it was Waylander, Doja, Adrian, then Hooch and Mo down towards the bottom. So Doja, and that's the reason why Mo actually, I think, handed over the AWP to him at one point. He's like, bro, if you can make something work with this, then by all means.
Do you reckon he said bro?
Probably not bro, actually. Yeah, don't know. That's what I would say, though.
Yeah.
I'd say probably say, bruh, give me the AWP. But here's the thing, Gambit have one more round than they did at halftime last time around, and we did see them start to get fairly close. The problem is, like I said, the margin of error for Gambit Gaming closes. Every lost round is that much more devastating to them now. I mean, yeah, I'm stating the obvious here, but you've got to think about it in that sense and how it affects your psyche. This is Gambit, not together as long as E-Frag, definitely seasoned players individually, but E-Frag have definitely shown us an amount of gelling and cohesion, especially when it comes to their T-side executions. It's been really impressive to see.
Yeah, I feel for Gambit now at this point. You know, the thing is that Mo's had a bit of a hit and miss run as well. I think you pointed that out quite a bit. He's not been as consistent as maybe wanted. Almost haunted by the problems that we saw in Hellraisers back in his run. You know, he'd have games where it was game changing, where it was massive in that sort of aspect. But he really does go quiet sometimes, sadly for him, and you can't afford that these days, it seems, especially against confident riflers who can just kind of pick up anyway, because we didn't see all that much AWPing really from E-Frag. It's been here and there, but nothing they've depended upon. They've depended on like Victor doing massive work. You've seen great clutching capabilities coming out from Bubble. Spy Leader as well on that. You know, everyone's been performing well.
The reason for this is as well, a big part of it is that they're not really interested in challenging mid early. They smoke it out. NKL smokes mid out, and then they will peek and work their way on connector and short. So they're not really interested in giving Mo what he wants, that 1v1 matchup in the mid. It's just maybe they feel like they're hanging too much on that. Maybe it's just too risky. Bubble will pick up an AWP if he has to, but most of the time he's been the player working out of Palace. And he doesn't really care for that one too much either. He's happy to take a Tech 9 by the seams of things. Adrian was just getting nightmares from him just jumping down to dark and dispatching of him fairly quickly there. So, you know, that's just the way E-Frag have decided to play it. I think it works in their favour. I think maybe now we may see that orb come out, of course, if it's you know, if it's suitable to hold that mid window. I'd say Bubble if anyone. But really, I mean, everyone on this side of E-Frag, you know, Punisher maybe to a slightly lesser degree, but they all are making plays on their own in that last half. Punisher has definitely been more of a supportive player, coming in with the refrag more times than not.
And NKL being the kind of support player with the smokes and such, but still making such an impact towards the game. You saw the amount of plays that kind of fell off the back of the smokes towards that mid window. Whether or not it was body blocked made a massive difference in the end. But yeah, I think it's a little bit disappointing as well for Gambit Gaming, considering this lineup has got quite a lot of caliber to it. You've got to worry a little bit, but I do believe we are ready to get the second half underway of the second map. Let's remind ourselves of how that first map went down, bearing in mind it fell into the pockets of E-Frag. A bit of a surprise, but then again, you thought, okay, well, you know, that was their map choice. You wipe the slate clean, and you think, okay, Gambit coming to this one, this is their map, this should be their home. But rinse and repeat, time and time again, we see that the T side from E-Frag was strong. Now on the CT side, let's see what Gambit can bring.
I'd say about 70% of Gambit's rounds have been CT-sided ones today, with very short T-side rounds in games that they've won, or T-side halves, should I say. So let's see what they can do here. Maybe shaken out of their comfort zone a little bit, being pressured so hard as CTs. But there's no doubt that they'll have a little bit up their sleeve, at least to try and challenge here. It looks like we're starting with a little bit of an A here, execute. Looks fairly straightforward, the smokes that are coming in. Obviously on this pistol here, let's see what can be done. Spy Leader opens up the account. Adrian goes down already. He's just holding that push across. You can see that Mo's a little bit low as well. And he's got the planter in his sights. They trusted too much in a failed smoke.
They fluffed the smoke, completely and utterly fluffed it, and that is pretty much going to cost them this round. They're trying to plant for ramp or short. Now they're going to lose out. They wanted to take the one fight towards CT. Well, that's where they didn't smoke. The two smokes, one went towards jump, the stairs, and one went towards jungle. The jungle one failed. It left a small gap upon connector, and that is where we saw the issue arise.
And the issue is that Spy Leader got his first pistol kill from that failed smoke as well. Player pushed forward, thinking he was okay to go towards CT. Spy Leader killed him. You should be saying, okay, something's wrong with our smoke, or our setup's not working. You shouldn't be able to kill me so easily. But no, they went for the plant there, and unfortunately, this is just nightmare situation for Gambit. Pistol won by E-Frag. Now, E-Frag honestly have actually lost their post-pistol rounds a couple times coming into the half, so, you know, statistically not terrible, but here's Mo and Wayland are trying to make things work with the Deagles here. The Tech Knight of Mo, he's taking a bit of damage, but Spy Leader's just going to be there to receive. He takes down Hooch. And again, tough times ahead as Victor does throw the molly in. He's going to have some company.
Yeah, looking for that pinch towards B, Gambit Gaming. Slowed down, though, on their push through apps has kind of hindered their approach to this one. Now, NKL pretty much only holding towards A, but you can see already Spy Leader's eyes are towards B. Yep. Waylander's up short. Now they waited out for that molly to dissipate, and it's worked out. They got the frag, but now still in their way is Victor, making this hard down work, buying time for the rotate. But by now, players are now in on the site. But the last man really who can do the damage here is going to have to be Dozier. He needs to get that bomb down and allow Mo to cover him off.
They know where Spy Leader is approximately there. They've got to get the poke. 2-1. Spy Leader gets the spray down with 5 points of health, and that is going to be one of the biggest nails in the coffin for Gambit Gaming. A situation they should not have lost, and the Bulgarian national makes them pay.
Why did they line up like that? Look at this end here. You can imagine the swing out idea. They wanted, Dozier and Mo to kind of cover each other off. Mo is meant to be the one to take this fight here, but look at it. Mo didn't want to shoot because he'd literally have to kill Dozier by that point, but oh my word, that is just poor communication, just bad luck, whatever you want to call it, but already, let's clean our minds out of this one, because at least Mo's got off to a good start here, but he's going to be kicking himself for that last round. Nothing you can do, I guess, at that point. Hindsight is 20/20, but that's a devastating way to get to this round marker.
Good start, though, for Mo here in this round. We're having dispatch bubbles, so, well, apparently effortlessly here, but Gambit need a heck of a lot more than that to get them even remotely close to taking this one away. Spy Leader, clinically efficient. Waylander going down. Such a pivotal player for Gambit as well. One of the guys really holding them together. He does fall, and of course, Mo the only one with a deagle here as well. It's a P250 for Dozier, but no utility to speak of. None at all. And they have to go in clean here. Such a terrifying situation really to look for. And Spy Leader, again, is just going to compound that threat and the nervousness in Gambit of coming forward. There's a third from him as well. It should be a stomp here, realistically, for E-Frag, but Gambit can't allow that to happen.
They're trying to make a sneaky plant towards B. Well, not sneaky by this point, but it was like, okay, yeah, we kind of screwed up at A here. Let's just try and make the most towards this B side, but already Punisher didn't rotate, but Dozier does find him, but now the rotates come in. Everyone reread the situation. Spy Leader certainly didn't need any more help, and 14-4, Mitch. This is not the score I expected, but it's certainly one to keep our attention here. This could be E-Frag going through to Katowice.
And this is E-Frag just building off the back of strong T-halves that Gambit haven't had the answers for. I mean, it's a far cry from Gambit's sort of first start when they prioritise the CT side. They shut their opponent YP out on the CT side, but they're up against an opponent of an entirely different caliber here. They have AKs, they have some utility, mostly flashes, but a few smokes among them. Bubble doesn't give a damn. He does get the kill over towards Mo there. I assume that was in towards mid. You can see him making good use of that one. Victor picks up Hooch there. 2 down already for Gambit, and it's looking dire.
It really is looking absolutely diabolical for these guys. There's so few options left. They're losing out in the trades. They're losing out on the initial picks. I don't know what's actually worked out for them by this point. So Waylander, Dozier, and Adren, the last 3 standing. Minimal utility, 1 smoke left towards them. They chose to put Waylander smoke towards that mid window. Maybe going to put one towards connector. Not too sure by this point. Adren's recovered one as well. So they're trying to build something out towards B here, but look who's in their way. It's Punisher on the corner. He's got a molly as well. But will they actually go? Will they go through window? I'm trying to hear what they do here.
Oh, the made sound. Waylander with the
boost. He's got to expect it. He's got to expect the boost. He gets down one. He can't trade it out for a second, but that's more than enough.
Victor now will be holding as well. He knows some shenanigans are afoot there on short, but for the moment he seems more content looking elsewhere now as he doesn't quite know exactly who's converging on that B side. It's 2 players left, both Dozier and Waylander, half their health left. 1 flash between them. They have AKs, like I said. But it's a heck of a lot to do when you've got 4 flashes on the other side as well. I mean, Spy Leader and NKL, ironically enough, the 2 guys they're about to push towards have those to work with here. NKL in dark as well, trying to keep himself quiet here. and wait for this push in, and it'll come one way or another.
20 seconds, 2 per site. NKL's going to spot out 1. That's Dozier dead. The timing was off, and there is the shutdown. NKL finding Waylander, and that is E-Frag on match point here to get to Katowice.
No money for Gambit.
0 money, as you just spotted. This is your force up. This is everything they have. This is their last-ditch attempt here. And what a disastrous scoreline for them at this point, Mitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is they've been here before. That's the problem. Gambit made a bit more inroads on Dust 2 than this, but this is an absolute shutout. Again, they've just rattled them. Mo, I mean, going from him as well, he's lost that confidence. It's safe to say that. Now, Mo's poking mid into Bubble. Bubble didn't do that. He respected the fact that the CT had a good line. He could hold that one. And he's been trying that as well. Whenever he's had an AWP, he's been picked up. Here's match point. They're going to push forward onto this one now. All of Gambit in the middle of the map here, but Spy Leader will take one. He's looking for a second as well. He's running rampant with the USP. He'll have a third as well. The head of Hooch goes flying off, and it's just 2 players left. Punisher will chime in, and Adrian, 22 points of health and a Tech 9. It's all but done, and Gambit are right on the edge.
You're staring down at defeat right now, Adren. He knows it. It's seconds away. He's just pushing into it. Punisher closes, and what a way to end it. Gambit with the clean round in the end, pretty much going down beneath them. And E-Frag, what a performance from those boys. At the end of it, keeping every single player alive, just looking dominant as well. And you could go through every single player saying they had their moment from start to finish. Their T side is something to be feared on every single level, but their CT side wasn't exactly poor either.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was maybe the one point where they started to bleed a few rounds here, but we really didn't see too much of their CT side be exposed because of these strong T sides. And the converse can be said of Gambit. They played a lot of CT rounds. They shut out YP, didn't have to worry about it too much, but obviously, as we all know, on that T side, cohesion is that much more important. If you're going to orchestrate something on a scale larger than one player, you need to be in clear and consistent communication. That might be an issue. It's more conjecture right now, but definitely a convincing final match there.
I'm thoroughly impressed with what we saw. If I'm honest, I did not expect E-Frag to be the team to go through. I know they've been around probably the longest, I'd guess, out of the semi-finals to a degree. But when you've got people like Gambit there, Team YP, big names coming through that bracket with big players as well who've been in major tournaments in previous history, who've performed at the highest of levels, you'd kind of go, surely these guys have it in the bag. But it's great to see a team like this really showing that they have a lot to bring to these bigger tournaments.
A team that has been around for quite some time. And for E-Frag, they've actually honestly bubbled to the surface close to some of these, great pun, close to these sort of major tournaments or these bigger events. So they are going to have the chance to prove themselves at Katowice. They are, of course, the first team to book their qualifier ticket through. Now, Lauren, of course, we have other qualifiers for this tournament. IEM Taipei just around the corner. We have an American qualifier later on, and also the 24th and 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it may be. Check it out on the site, of course.
Yeah, it's our second EU qualifier, which also will be run through ESEA, which you can sign up for. Anyone can sign up for as well and get involved in that one. But I think we're about done, Lauren. Any final thoughts before we close things off here? I'm
hoping we see some of these teams come back in for the other qualifier, to be fair. If it's going to be anything towards the caliber of games we got to witness today, I'm more than up for it. So I'm just excited to see what else they can bring.
Well, he does get 2 bites of the apple, ladies and gentlemen. So until the 24th and 25th, we'll see you guys around. Stay tuned, of course, for more info surrounding Intel Extreme Masters World Championships in Katowice. We hope to see you there too. See you later.